So I'm here this morning at the Occoquan race. I got here a little bit early. It was a pretty heavy rain the whole way up here. It was about a 2-hour drive from Charlottesville, Virginia up to Occoquan, Virginia. We are going to be racing this piece of water here today. I think we go upstream that way for some distance, then turn around and go this way for some distance, and then turn around and come back. It's supposed to be a 10K. So I've never done this race before. The rain is pretty light right now, so hopefully it will stay this way. And I'll try to get some video from the boat, and I'll touch in after the fact. All right, talk to you soon. Let's go, Henry! You're my favorite paddler today, bud. Thank you, sir. There I am putting in, and here you'll see Aaron Baldwin and his 8-year-old son Henry paddling out. Henry is my rock star hero for the day. Amazing young man. He's gonna develop into a phenomenal paddler, and I've got some more proof toward the end of this video. But here we are launching, just going downstream a little bit to warm up. I've got to scoot up here and hang with the sleeveless people. Now we're getting ready at the starting line for the blow of the whistle. Oh, there's the go. And let me just show you the early part of this race. There you see some OC1s off to my left. There's paddling buddy Dave on my right there, passing me. And you see kind of the main pack is off to my left. I try to stay a little out of the fray. I don't like getting in everybody's churn. There you see me throwing down a bracing stroke, which is never a good thing when you have to brace that early and slow down. But, you know, it's a 6.5 mile race, 6.2 mile race. You know, I didn't feel it was make and break at the very start of the race, that a lot of people just kind of peter out at mile 3 or 4, which was not the case today. But I just didn't feel the need to jump off to an amazing start. Plus, it makes for not the greatest video. I like to let people paddle out in front of me at the start. Here we are approaching the first buoy turn. There is the first buoy turn. And you see I get pushed a little wide here. And I take a pretty ugly wide turn here. And I'll talk about the rudder I was using this day and why my turn was not sharp and crisp. But you see, I just kind of got pushed pretty wide and really was not happy with this buoy turn at all. And keep in mind, this is kind of a fish-eye wide-angle camera lens on my body cam here. So I didn't fall that far behind the pack. Maybe not as bad as it looked in this wide angle, but I did drop back a bit. Here we are racing up toward the second buoy. And I kind of stayed with actually there's those people off to my immediate left, but there's an OC1 here, a female OC1, and a guy in a surf ski just up there on the left, and I was kind of behind them pretty much the whole race right up until the end. Here we are at the second buoy turn. Now this is on the Occoquan River. We started in Norton, Virginia, right across from the town of Occoquan at a place called Occoquan Regional Park with a great boat ramp. You paddled downstream here toward the bay, and it got windy and pretty choppy out there. So there was significant wind at this point. Here's the second buoy turn. This one was really ugly for me. I got sideways here. And with this rudder, my boat just did not want to pop around. I got stuck parallel to the waves here. Why can't I turn this boat? Kind of a helpless feeling. Yeah, I'll get there eventually. Shit. It just was not coming around for me. A lot of this had to do with the wind we were dealing with. You know, some of it obviously was my skill as a paddler, and some of it was just a very small understern rudder that just was not getting the job done in those conditions. There you see a guy in an Epic S18X surf ski on my right there. He got ahead of me around that buoy turn. He reached out to ask if I was okay. There were some of the still outbound paddle boarders going the other way. Not yet at that second buoy turn. here we are heading back to the start finish line. I'm narrowing the gap on the female OC1 and the guy in the surf ski here. And for a while, I ride on his wake thinking we're going to sprint to the finish line. Well, we got there and I realized everybody is passing the finish line. And I didn't realize it, but we had to go around and do that first buoy turn again here at the end. So I started the sprint thinking that was the end of the race, but no, we had to go around that first buoy again. Here we are back at the first buoy turn, but doing it for a second time. I do a little bit better turn this time. I'm keeping these two pretty close at this point because I know now is going to be the real sprint to the finish here. So I'm just trying to stay close. And I will say, this is the Occoquan River Paddle Challenge. It was held yesterday, May 18th, 2024. This was my first time doing this race. It's a really good race. It's well organized. It's fun. It's at a very nice place with a visitor center with plenty of parking right across from the town of Occoquan. There you see Occoquan on the right there. And now you see us sprinting to the finish line. The guy in the surf ski is kind of drafting the OC1 on my left there. And they're kind of taking a wide leftish turn. And I just located the finish line, and I'm making a straight line to the finish line at this point. I figure if I could cut down the angle a bit, maybe that might put me at an advantage. See a paddle boarder here going the other way. And you see an island right there up on the left, and I figure that's good kind of camouflage and cover for me. If I go right while those other two are going left, maybe they'll kind of lose sight of me and not exactly know where I am. But if you look really wide left at the edge of the screen, you can see them there. So I'm almost even with them at this point. And I figure I'm still cutting down this angle. I've got a chance to knock one, if not two of them off. I was pretty sure I was battling for fourth place here. The guy in this surf ski and I think we're the fourth and fifth men in this competition. There you see that OC1. We're sprint. This is the final sprint of the finish. The the surf ski is right behind that OC1. There goes the paddleboarder the other way. And I almost nose up even with this OC1 here at the end. And I did get ahead of the guy in the surf ski by, I think it was like 3 seconds or less. But he was right there, and I'm giving it everything I had left in the tank just to try to knock one or two more people off at the finish line here. 18! And you'll hear me yell out my number. We're not quite done. Right about now we're done. So I don't know who beat who. I think the OC1 had me by a nose. And then I talked to the guy in the surf ski here in a second.
Nice paddling. You kept me honest the whole way.
The story of my life or what?
He said that's the story of his life.
I screwed up coming this way. I thought that last time past here was the finish line. I didn't realize we had to do that.
Now there's Griff Hall and battling buddy Dave Seegers.
Because I was right behind.
They took first and second. Aaron Baldwin and his son took third.
Like, oh, crap.
Amazing paddlers. All of them.
Nice paddling, boys.
So we're just kind of hanging out after the finish. And now I let Aaron take my Westside Boat Shop Marauder for a spin. He's got a Westside Boat Shop Wave Excel. We've met at previous races.
It's not a wild water boat.
So I thought I'd let him paddle the Mac Daddy of Westside Boat Shops, the Marauder, and he came back with a big old smile on his face and said it's fast. I love to watch that boat from any angle, to be honest. And now on the far side of the stand-up paddleboarder, you see 8-year-old Henry getting in the Westside Boat Shop Marauder. This kid is amazing. Most adults can't sit in this boat and stay upright. And Henry, you are a true rock star. Look at him go. Keeping a 17-inch wide boat upright. That was the visitor center in the background. All right, so there you have it. It's the Occoquan race 2024. Somebody said it's about a 6.3 mile race. I haven't synced my GPS watch yet, so I don't know exactly what my mileage was. But yeah, you go upriver here, and there's a buoy turn. And I was in my Westside Boat Shop Marauder kayak today with a understern rudder. And it doesn't make turns all that well, so I got a little bit behind on the first buoy turn.
Then you go a few miles out that way to where the water gets pretty wide and it's getting toward the bay. And today the wind picked up, the water was choppy. So it was a little tricky going out, but not bad. But then doing the buoy turn out there when you get sideways to the waves, I had a little bit of trouble there. And then with my tiny little understern rudder, once I got parallel to the waves, my boat just kind of stuck there and it didn't want to pop the rest of the way around. It was a little hard getting turned there. Some people passed me, but I got back on some wakes and you run all the way back up and then you do that buoy again, turn around, and then you come back here to the start finish line right here at this dock. So I had a sprint at the end. There was a guy ahead of me the whole way. The last 2 miles, I was consistently gaining on him. I was riding his wake. And then at the end, I decided to sprint the last, 200 meters or so. And I think I got him by like a second or less, I believe, but we'll see. There were actually 2 kayaks. Griff took first place. Paddling buddy Dave took second for sure. Then Aaron Baldwin and his son were in a tandem. And then I think I was the first solo kayaker after those. So, and there was a female in a kayak and a surf ski up there, and I think there was an outrigger in that lead pack too. So I feel okay about what I did here. Wasn't my best race, wasn't the best boat to choose for today. I wish I would have brought something with an overstern rudder so I could have made those buoy turns a little bit tighter. But all in all, hey, any day on the water is a great day. I'll check in later. Love this sport. Take what it has to give you and pay it forward. So when I did my research for this race, I really didn't find anybody's GPS tracks and not even a good map. So here you see my movie. There I am paddling, warming up ahead of time. So this will give you a view of the overall 10K course and let you know exactly what the routine is here. This is in Fairfax County, Virginia. It's got a beautiful park there, like I said, with modern restrooms, a restaurant. Behind the visitor center is a brick kiln. Be sure to check that out. They made a lot of red bricks for the buildings in Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia in the early 20th century. That was pretty cool to see as well. Come on out next year. This race needs to be better known and needs more paddlers. Come on, check it out next year. The Occoquan River Paddle Challenge.
When you want an extraordinary racing kayak made in the finest American tradition, or maybe just own a piece of American kayaking history, you want a West Side Boat Shop kayak, now available from DaveTheKayaker.com. West Side Boat Shop kayaks. The tradition continues.